Hello, Emmanuel. In class, I want us to basically practice. So watch this video as often as you can. We're going to talk about what makes writing formal, and we're going to talk about some things you can do to improve your formal writing and academic writing. So first of all, when we speak, the natural way for us to speak is informally, you see, because we speak to a child first learns to speak to their parents. They first learn papa and dada and mama, you know, and these are not formal expressions. So speaking is informal naturally, but writing is naturally formal because writing actually began on specific situations. Maybe a ruler would say something and the recorder will have to write it down. So writing began formal and eventually it became informal. So when we speak of formal writing, we speak of word choice, we speak of short forms, we speak of sentence structure. And always remember that your goal in writing is to be as understandable as possible. You want to express your ideas clearly as you can, and you want your readers to easily understand you. So those two things, are your ideas expressed clearly? Can they be clearer? If they can, adjust the writing. Keep adjusting the writing until it is as clear as possible. So this brings us back to drafts. You know, I told you that in your draft, the draft must align with the outline and the thesis. Now, you need to keep adjusting the draft. Keep asking yourself, is it clear? Can it be clearer? If it can be clearer, you have work to do. You stop adjusting it when it can no longer be clearer. Now you're going to ask yourself, can my readers understand it easily? If they can understand it, but you can make it even more clearer so that they can understand it even more easily, you have more work to do. Keep adjusting the draft, you see? So that's it. Now, first of all, your word choice. What do I mean by your word choice? You want to use standard words. Go to the dictionary and you're going to pick words that are not labeled informal. They are not labeled academic word list. They're not labeled anything. They have no labels. Those are the words you want to use. Those are the phrases you want to use. If you meet any word that is labeled as slang or offensive or informal, avoid it. Avoid such words, such as the F word, the C word. Avoid those words. They are not to be used in formal situations. All right. Slangs too, don't use them in formal writings. Okay, it's very important. Now, many words we don't know are offensive are actually offensive. We just don't know they're offensive. So that's why you want to make sure the dictionary guides you. Any words you want to use, don't just check the meaning. Check if they are labeled as offensive or slang or informal. If they have these labels, don't use them. Okay. Now, also, the words we generally use, like I did it, did. You see, they're common words. You see, you want to avoid very common words. So that's it. In formal writing, you use standard words, but if those standard words are common, use less common expressions. That's very important part of writing formally. Carried out or performed instead of done. Arrived instead of come. Purchased instead of bought. You see? So, and if you must use words with labels, the labels must be formal, or the labels must also be, as you can see here, academic words lists, AWL. It must have this label, otherwise you don't use it. Excellent. Now, what do you avoid? You avoid contractions. Instead of saying I haven't, you say I have not. Instead of I'm, I'm Emmanuel, I'm hungry, you say I am. Instead of can't, you say cannot. You see. Now, you also avoid abbreviations. Instead of WHO, you say World Health Organization. Instead of UN, you say United Nations. Instead of USA, you say United States of America. Instead of UK, you say United Kingdom. Do not use abbreviations. It's very important. Informal writing, don't use abbreviations. Even for your currencies. Don't write USD. Don't write US dollars. Write United States dollars. You see, don't use abbreviations at all. Don't use contractions at all. Now, third, we move to the sentence structure. And this part on sentence structure, is something that you will get to know more fully when we continue our English lessons. You see, it's much deeper than just one lesson can cover. But I think you understand. The main idea is that you want to avoid excessively long sentences. They shouldn't be too long, but they shouldn't be too short either. Okay. So you see some examples of pronouns you use, some examples of conjunctions you use. Although, because, if, while, but, and, or, nor, neither, which, that, who, whose. Use those expressions. And finally, in formal writing, you don't use the active verbs. You use the passive verbs. In fact, try to avoid references to yourself. Try to avoid saying I or we. You see, come from the third person. Don't use first person pronouns. Instead of saying I ate the food, you can say the food was eaten. The food has been eaten, the job has been done. Instead of saying I think it will happen, you say it appears that it will happen. It looks like. Instead of saying I'm not sure, you say it is debatable. You see, these are things you want to do in formal writing. You avoid saying I, you avoid saying you, and generally use passive forms. Pause this video if you want to understand some things and study very carefully these lists, please. This table, I can also send it to you. Now, I also said you use nouns as subjects of verbs. You say subject, verb, object. I go to school. I go to work. Avoid pronouns if possible. They're personal. Try to avoid anything personal. Try to be impersonal. The idea of being formal is that you are impersonal. You sound objective and you sound impersonal. So try to avoid personal pronouns. If you must use pronouns, they mustn't be personal pronouns. You prefer nouns as subjects. Try to avoid personal pronouns. Try to avoid anything personal. You want to be as objective and as impersonal as possible. That's the idea behind formal and academic writings. And finally, you use complex noun phrases with prepositions. What does that mean? Well, once again, it's something you're going to learn eventually in our English lessons. So I won't dwell too much on it right now. I think that's it. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to send you some questions I want you to carry out. Now, you answer these questions, and in class, I will tell you the right answers, and we're also going to do a review of everything we've learned so far. Then our next lessons is going to focus on things like essays, emails, letter writings, CVs, answering exam questions, you know, different types of writings. So what we have done now is we have laid the foundation. We have learned the basics we need to learn, right? So I will tell you more things in the class. Enjoy your day. Thank you.